you're a plumber, say if you're a welder, say if you get into school to do any trade, right? You work that job for about 10 years, and now you can buy the same equipment, and you can open up a plumbing business and get a truck and slap the logo on it. So it's you get people respect people that have more prestige and get into white collar jobs and climb that corporate ladder, and they look at a plumber as as lower scale, that's classism. Yeah. But when you think about it, that plumber can probably hit that milli
before some corporate dude working
gives you a milli. What up, y'all? Sean Johnson, Ohead Steph, Sade Renee.
Namaste.
This is another episode of the IC. This is episode number.
Oh, shit.
I don't know.
We definitely.
It's 20 something.
Is it?
I don't know what we up to.
Yeah.
But we always ahead of schedule. How's everybody doing this week? How was everybody's week?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I was very productive this week. Got a lot of things. Yeah, you know what I mean? You did. How about y'all?
How about you, Sade?
I signed up for school this week. I'm registering for classes.
Me too.
That's exciting.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited. I hate my job.
Yeah, me too.
I hate working. I hate it. Yeah. I do bare minimum.
Hey, man. I don't blame you.
I feel like a zombie at work. And they keep having COVID outbreaks.
Yeah.
So I just don't go back into the office. I just I got a client in the field, and then I tell my client I can't come in.
Next week.
No, I don't go in the office. I literally have not been in the office in 4 weeks.
Hey man, that's a beautiful thing.
I refuse to go.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the COVID. Health is too priceless.
I don't think I can get it.
Don't.
No, I've had it, and then I've been exposed several times, and I have not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I have not gotten it. I have the antibodies. I know that I tested for the antibodies, but I had it when it first came out.
I'm pretty sure I had it as well, but I had it before, a month before the outbreak was announced. In February, I had this weird breakdown where my fucking body was I felt like I was dying. And of 2 days, I was fucked up, and then after that, I was straight. And I'll be around people. I didn't know what COVID was at the time, so I didn't get tested. But now, I've been around people that said they had COVID and get tested. I'll be feeling sick. I'll be feeling scared, and nope, negative.
Same.
So I don't know.
Yo, I had COVID one time. I felt like there was a motherfucking monster in my chest. Just fucking.
Sound like Precious.
Yo, that shit. I was like, damn, am I dying?
Yeah, right. Is this what it feels
I was like? I wonder if I'm dying. Ralph from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I'm in danger. that was my ass with COVID. I'm in danger.
That dude is funny as hell. I ain't gonna lie.
Word. Yo,
my dad shoots people.
Yeah.
I love The Simpsons.
This is funny as fuck.
They have 33 seasons.
Yo, that shit is crazy, bro. I've been The Simpsons go back
elementary school. I was in elementary school watching it with my dad.
Multiple generations is experiencing The Simpsons in real time. That's dope.
Me, my dad, and my kids.
That was me and my brother. Shit, me and my brother used to watch that shit. That and remember that show, The Dinosaurs?
That's my shit. Yeah. I'm the baby. Gotta love me. That's my shit.
Was my shit.
Yo, what a creepy. What was that?
They
were in
creepy
suits.
As fuck. Yeah, they were big ass,
really
mechanical looking suits, and these motherfuckers really that shit was funny. That
as hell. Show was really good. It was really the good. Honeymooners and dinosaurs. The mom and the brother. The brother was a jock.
Yeah.
And it was The Simpsons and dinosaurs, to be honest. Because wasn't the dad a construction worker?
Something like that. Yeah,
he had the hard hat. Yeah, and his friend was the T-Rex.
Yeah.
And they were dumb, and they had the mean boss. And
there was mama. The baby was my favorite part of that show.
Everybody loved the baby, but he was the Maggie. He was
Maggie. Can a show like this even come out now?
Yeah, I think
that shit,
so.
I ain't gonna lie.
Grandma, I forgot about the grandma.
Look at these niggas.
Yeah, that's Lisa.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna front.
What if that's The Simpsons in like prehistoric?
This is kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna front.
But that was my shit. The
I
show
liked
was
it, but
scary.
I don't know why. That they do look kind of scary. You know what was fucking? You know what scared the shit out of me as a kid, dogs? Alf was Alf.
Oh, I loved Alf. How could
my
you be
nigga
scared of
Alf
him?
used to terrify the fuck out of me, bro.
I love him.
Like, what the fuck is he?
He's an alien.
I never got that. I didn't get that message.
You never seen the first episode? He was an alien. He crashed in their backyard and he saw the kids and the kids brought him in the house and dad was like, oh, hell no. And mom was like, oh, he's nice. And he just stayed.
Yeah,
I
don't fuck
love
Alf.
Alf.
I used to have nightmares about
Alf.
The first time I ever experienced what's that shit called? Sleep paralysis.
You saw Alf?
I saw Alf. Yo, when I tell you, bro, I was traumatized by Alf, dogs. And my cousin, I slept at my cousin's house and he had an Alf doll. And I was just like this. And that motherfucking doll was walking to me, bro, in my head. And I'm
like,
yo, you know what the trick is for sleep paralysis?
What?
If you pair with sleep paralysis with, hey, I'm really sleeping, then you're lucid dreaming.
I'm about to say you have to be like consciously
you get what
aware
I'm saying?
that you're sleeping.
You gotta explain that to me because I need to
so lucid dreaming, right?
Yeah,
is when you're REM sleeping in a full dream state, right? But your brain is like, hey, I'm dreaming. So now you're like in the matrix, like I can do whatever I want.
Right.
That's fire.
You have control.
And your body is just in sleep mode. You can't wake up.
So how do I get up?
You have to pair. But no. The way you get up is like, it happens to me all the time. Like I'll be dreaming and I'll be like, damn, I got to get up, but I'm mad fucking. I'm in dream state. Yeah. I look at it like your body sends like a message to your brain, like time to wake up, but your brain's not. It doesn't do it right away. So you just
like a slow boot up.
They have like little
jump up.
They have like little tricks that you can do. Like you can look at your hands and like move your fingers and like recognize your hands. And when you're
so it's like resyncing yourself,
right? So it's like remembering.
Yo, I swear, bro.
And then you can come,
like,
come back. Well, they say like your dreams are really like a parallel universe.
Yeah,
like
I swear we're. I don't know, bro. I feel like we programmed, dogs. Like that shit sounds crazy. Like we gotta resync with our bodies.
During the shroom trips, I seen that we were the Sims.
When you think about it, right? You're sleeping and like it's like your body, like you turn off your computer, right?
Yeah.
So your body's like, we don't need to use the body anymore. He doesn't need to get up to walk.
But that part is still working.
But your brain is like in a certain sleep mode.
And so
it's in like a safe mode, right? Yeah. So if you pair sleep paralysis where you can't move and you want to move with, hey, I'm sleeping, then you're going to realize that you're sleeping and that you're in a dream, and now you can lucid dream.
Now you can move throughout your dream.
Now you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I saw a movie that's about that. Like, well, actually it wasn't exactly about that. I can't remember what it's called, but this dude needed to have open heart surgery.
I love that movie.
Yeah, and he saw his girlfriend.
Yes, and he saw everything that happened with Jessica
Biel, not Biel. No. Jessica Alba.
Yes, Jessica Alba was his girlfriend. Yeah. She set him up, and they wanted. He was like really, really rich, and he was like sickly, and the doctor was in on it, and they were like running around. That is my movie. Isn't Terrence Howard?
Terrence Howard
is one of the doctors.
He's a surgeon. Yeah,
and he was the
one that was setting him up.
Right. Yeah. And they were all started freaking out because it was going wrong.
And then they found the shit that they injected, the adrenaline they injected. Yeah, that shit was crazy. But basically the whole premise of the movie is that dude he found out, he stayed awake while they were doing open heart surgery.
Like, ow, you hurt
but he couldn't move.
Yeah, he was like, my
chest. So he felt everything. He was hearing a conversation about them killing him and taking the heart. For the insurance money, so whatever.
Wasn't she like messing with his medicine and shit like that? Yeah. And then he started like he was able to like go to his mom.
Yeah, his mom.
And his mom, the one who ended up saving him,
giving him her heart. That shit, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'd have slid everybody throwing that motherfucking movie, my nigga. Like my mama had to die because your bitch asses. Nah. That shit was crazy. And then you had to see what he went through with
his
mother.
dad.
Yeah, that shit
that's a good ass
That's a good fucking movie. And they don't make movies like that.
They don't. They really don't.
That shit is, I'm sorry, we kind of went off on a tangent, but like.
No, it was like lucid dreaming because he was aware. Like he was supposed to be, he was supposed to be asleep.
You never experienced lucid dreaming?
Only sleep paralysis.
Really?
Or maybe I have and I don't know what it's.
You know, when you're in sleep paralysis, you're never awake.
But I see it.
You think you are.
You think you are. Your soul.
So you'll be sleeping right here, and you were conscious that you fell asleep on the couch, and now you want to wake up, but you're dreaming that you're on the couch. You're never really awake.
You're not.
So as soon as you
the thing that creeps me out about it is that, like, so say if I fall asleep right here.
Yeah.
I notice the camera. I notice the lights. I know everything I know everything in my...
Because your brain makes that up.
So that's what I'm saying.
You're sleeping.
It seems so real.
Yeah,
because everything that I left was there when I slept is still right there.
Right.
That's the part that fucks me up. I'm not gonna lie. I always see like something black crawling towards me. And like I hear shit getting closer.
What happens to me is, like, say if I fall asleep right here, I fall asleep on the couch, I'll hear somebody in the kitchen and I can't move because I feel like I'm sleeping.
Yeah, it gets closer.
Right. Closer. But if you're like, I'm dreaming.
Then what happens?
Like then it's almost like, you got it, guys. You get what I'm saying? It's almost like, the prank is up. Almost, but it's not like that.
But I feel like I have.
It's just your consciousness meeting up with your subconscious.
To the point where, like, I don't get scared by it anymore. I'm just like, it is what it is. There's every once in a while, like, where I'm not sure I'm dreaming. Like, if it's dark and like me and Shorty sleep, and I hear something fall in the kitchen, and it's not like the monster's coming, but somebody might be in the kitchen, and I can't get up. Yeah. Then I'm like, I kind of like try to fight, and eventually I get up. But most of the times, I'm kind of like, all right, bro, this is what it is. Sometimes I just submit to it and just keep sleeping.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But there's one time I figured out, because my boy told me, right? He was like, if you notice in dreams, electronics don't really work. So like in real life, as soon as you go in the room, play with the switch. You get what I'm saying? Look at your phone. Things do things with like electronics. So when you have that habit built, you do it in your dream and you're like, this light switch don't work. I'm dreaming. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? I did that one time and I was like flying. I was like I was able to do something weird, like I was like pumping my legs and that was making me fly. I was like manipulating air and shit like that. But that lucid dreaming shit, I don't know if it's like profound, like we're entering another dimension or realm or anything. But once you are conscious that you are sleeping, but you can't wake up, and you know you can do anything that you fucking want, you're like a GTA character.
I really would like to try to experience that. I'm not gonna lie, I've never taken control of my dream. I've never been aware that I was dreaming, and then been able to act on it without either the dream will stop and I'll continue sleeping, or the moment I realize I'm dreaming, I'm awake.
You wake up.
I wake up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I ain't gonna lie, there's been some dreams that I wish I saw the end of that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
You've never been a character in your dreams? Nah. Like, my dreams are always like, I always wake up like, I forget that I'm alive. Like, I'm alive. Like, in my dreams, I feel like that's your real life. Like, that's my real life. It's so weird because I come back and I'm like, what the like, I'm so confused. Like, people call me dumb when I wake up, but I'm like, where am I? Like, I'll be super confused because, like, in my dreams, I'm really like living it out. I'm doing the stuff, and I always have wild fucking dreams. Yeah, like I don't have no fucking normal dreams. I like wish I had a normal dream. None of my dreams are normal.
I'll tell you, one time I had a dream. One time I had a dream. This is the weirdest thing I ever experienced, and I was young. I was like 15, 16, that I had a kid. And I was like so obsessed with this baby, and I was so like, I can't believe I'm a father. And I was hugging the baby, and I'm like, the baby was sad, so I started crying. And then I woke up, and there was actual tears in my eyes, and I was dumb tight that it wasn't real.
What if I told you it is?
See, now you about to fuck me.
No, because I watched a video the other day, and they were saying how like time, the concept of time, like our brains in these vessels are too small to conceptualize the real like time doesn't exist kind of thing. So they're saying like the past, the future, and the present all exist at one time. But we can only, with who we are as human beings on this density in 3D, we can't fathom all of it at once. So when you dream, they say that you can access the other timelines. So like you possibly saw something that
was something from another timeline.
That has happened already. You just haven't gotten to that point in your timeline that you've seen it. It could be something in the future that you haven't experienced in this present, but it's happened.
Yo, I was watching this movie. What is it? Everywhere. Everything, everywhere,
movie.
all at once.
I wanted to go see that last night. I saw Nope instead.
You should have saw that movie.
That movie is.
I love the cover. The cover looks pretty awesome.
That's
when you think
what I'm
about,
talking about.
like what that movie's talking about.
Please, no spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I'm going to tell you the premise, right? So, in life, you have like a bunch of different timelines.
Okay.
And one timeline, you made it as a rapper and you're on Rolling Stones. Another timeline, you stayed in the military.
But it's based on your choices.
And it's based on your choices. But those timelines keep going. You get what I'm saying? And in the movie, they trigger. They have this device where they fracture timelines to jump in other timelines. So say if in the military you were a skilled sniper, and in this timeline, you needed the skill of a sniper. You can jump to that other timeline, access the sniper knowledge, then put it in this timeline.
That would
you get what I'm
fire.
saying? And when I was watching the movie, and it's kind of comical, but I'm like, yo, I'm thinking about all the different timelines I had.
Yeah, I definitely would.
And I'm like, yo, this movie is fucking crazy.
Nah, I gotta go.
That
see
movie
that.
was fucking
This
awesome.
movie is ridiculous.
That's funny because there was a couple of movies I wanted to see. Was that? There was another one. I can't remember the titles because I'm not. It was a serial looking movie. I think it's Black Omen. Or I don't know what it was. And it was that one. I wanted to see that. I saw the movie Nope. I'm not gonna lie. That shit
How was it?
It's not deep, and I don't know. I didn't find it to be as deep as Jordan Peele's movies usually are, but I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it because it's not. It has a little bit of a twist. It's not a big plot twist, but it's like, oh, I never thought of it that way. I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
I like spoilers. He don't. I don't know.
I don't care.
All right, so spoiler alert for anybody that is going to watch the movie Nope. Yeah, I want to cut this off right here. So it's about aliens.
Yeah, I figured that.
It's about aliens. And the main character, same character from Get Out.
The black
dark skinned dude. I can't remember his real name.
He's English.
He's English, yeah. Yeah. But he basically, his father is supposedly the first. His father is the dude from what movie was it? He's mad movies. His father is the first wrangler of movie stars. So basically, like his family comes from the first black people to be on movie screen stunt doubles. So they train wild horses to be in movies. And one day his father's lecturing him about some shit that he's like bothered by. Whatever. Point of the matter is, his father gets killed because something happens where he just mad shit just starts dropping out of the sky, and a quarter hit him in the fucking eye and split his skull open.
What?
So he witnesses it, doesn't know what the fuck happened, whatever. His son feels like now the main character feels like he has to keep up what his father was doing with whatever. And one day a horse jumps out and he sees something. The horse just runs and keeps running, and he sees something shoot across, and the horse screams like almost like a human. So basically, he looks like a flying saucer, and the whole time you just see like they're trying to catch the saucer on camera, and they think it's an alien spaceship. Whole time it is an alien, but it's not a spaceship. It's an actual animal that's eating shit. It's just dumb big because he's like, he knows animals. He breaks animals. He's like, that shit didn't move like something mechanical. It's not, it moves like something in water or like an animal. And the whole time it's just like, and then when you see that shit, it's just like, it's so weird. Like, it's not even like, it has no face. It's just like a big ass saucer, but it's the hole that sucks people up in is its mouth. And it's just
that's cool.
It should look crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It gets
I
deeper than
wanna
that. There's
see
a
it.
mess. The whole plot I didn't tell you basically, but it's I guess the aliens.
Isn't Keke
part.
Palmer in that?
Yeah, she plays the hell out of that role. I'm not gonna lie. She plays a great role in her. It's like it's a brother. That's supposed to be brother. They're brothers and sisters, and it's dope. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. It's something refreshing. It wasn't like like great and like something that you would never think is written, but it was just something different, a different spin on the alien shit.
I like these new genres of not new genre, but these new like black exclusivity like films,
black superheroes, black horror movies, black alien suit sci-fi.
Can we get some black fantasy movies?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
and historical
for.
fiction movies. I want to see those.
I want to see.
I'm a nerd.
Yes,
I want to see.
Yes.
I want to see myself as a fucking hobbit. I want to see myself as an elf. I want to see myself as a fucking princess.
Yeah.
I want to see myself as fucking all the Harry Potter. I want the whole school to be fucking black wizards.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
I want
all
to
the
see that.
lore and the story behind it.
Yeah, yes.
That's what I want. I want some Dungeons and Dragons shit. And
yes.
and not Africa. Like
not Africa.
Not I don't want to hear.
I'm indigenous to America. I want to see like people that look like me, sound like me
in a fantasy world.
that I thought of.
Okay.
Like I don't know. I've always actually wanted to make them.
Yo, you should.
But I'm into anime and I wanted to see like straight black anime.
I can't wait. They're starting to do that.
I know.
But
they have a lot of black anime characters. I'm like obsessed with them.
Yeah. Hey.
But I want to see that like as a girl who like loves things that I guess stereotypical black girls don't like. Like I love like the fantasy world. I like even like the historical Victorian fiction.
Yeah.
Like I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see that. And I know I went to film school and I didn't finish and I really wanted to make anime, but I've always had in my head like, what if like screenwriting was my favorite class.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if I wrote those stories?
You should. I'm listen, as a gamer, right? So the gaming community, so you see how like we just starting to get ourselves in these positions, as SJ said, with these type of movies. The gaming community is a little different. The gaming community has like a no social justice tolerance policy. So like if you take a gamer's game and make it like adapt it, I'm telling you, it will be a shitstorm. I don't even like, and sometimes, here's the thing. And
what do you mean?
So like, for instance, like there's a game called Overwatch, very big FPS shooter game, arena shooter. And they started to add characters that were like, they'll give you, the whole purpose of the game is a shooter. You're you versus, like this four versus these four, and you're just shooting, and whoever wins, wins. But every character has a backstory. And
he Jamaican story about
yo, I'm telling you, I don't know if it's my Jamaican heritage or my dyslexia, but what I know. But anyways, so they're like one of the first companies I noticed that they started adding gay characters. They give them a gay backstory where it's like just enter it and they just have like they're going out of their way to make sure everybody's inclusive, but it kind of like interferes with the storyline or the game. Sometimes it's not well implemented, and which kind of fucks it up. Because now, if you're like, for instance, I told you about that game. One of my first episodes we had, it was called The Last of Us, where they killed off the main character that we had. Like they built a huge emotional connection with him. Then they had a female character kill him off in a brutal way, and then you had to use that character to be that right there is just like, as a gamer, unacceptable. And so I understand why they don't like social justice, but it just leaves no room for things to change. So it's like, it's not well received.
Well, I think that more like, to be honest, I feel like if Black people want to see certain things, we have to be the ones to do it. Yeah. So it's like we need more game developers. We need more screenwriters. We need more Jordan Peels. If we want to see ourselves seen in these lights, then we're the ones who have to do it because we have to create the narratives. I feel like that's kind of like where Black people fail is we keep asking outside of ourselves for acceptance and inclusion when we need to start being the doctors. We need to start being the therapists. We need like all the different, different roles that we want to be filled. We need to fill them ourselves.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of like,
and I ain't gonna lie,
what's needed. Like you want a wellness center, we need more people who's gonna fill it. You know. So
now you're absolutely right. I like that. My fault. I didn't mean to cut you off, but prior to streaming, I was working in a doctor's office, and I ain't gonna lie, I was getting well paid, but I was just miserable waking up every day going to the job. And one day I set out like a mass test to like my people in my inner circle, because I felt like I was going crazy, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna write this. I'm writing this message to y'all for you to hold me accountable and to hold myself accountable. On this date, there's only a few things in life that I love to do with passion, and that's gaming, music, and anything to like be creative. Mm-hmm. I don't find any sense of accomplishment going up the corporate ladder or working. That's just not for me. I don't care about those things. Like, oh, I'm making $150K at this job. I don't care about that. Even though I know it's a necessity, it doesn't fulfill me. So I said on this date, I'm going to make sure that everything I do is going to be indicative of me trying to reach this goal. And that was to like do software development and gaming or storyboard writing, something to do with gaming or anime, things that interest me. You know what I mean? And I'm streaming now. It started there. Like that's how this happened. That's how I ended up on this podcast, honestly. Like everything I'm doing is to go in that lane. You know what I mean? That's so hopefully, maybe I could be one of those people. I don't know. I'm going to school to go learn how to fucking code and create software.
You know how to code. You remember MySpace?
Yeah, I know. But on an advanced level. Yeah. Yeah, but my fault ass. What you saying?
What was I saying? I was gonna say, you remember in the other episode I was talking about gatekeeping what we think is cool in our culture?
Yeah.
Drug dealers are cool. Lil Baby is cool. Uh-huh. Jay-Z was cool. Uh-huh. Software developers aren't too cool. That's what I was trying to say. Like we need to
normalize new cool.
Yeah. A new.
And I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. But the thing I'm not even like that I get. I understand that. I don't want you to think I was like against that. I am totally for that. The only thing that I was saying is just like I just feel like the art is a reflection of reality. So if somebody had to resort to selling drugs or whatever and turned into a businessman, I feel like that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. I see the beauty in that. You know what I mean? Right, like I'm not saying I don't want us to think like, oh, we need to go ahead and do the worst thing possible. If you're not in that situation, don't do it. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like black people are coming up in the world. Like we're not at a state of like, let's just say I'm not saying every black person on this planet we're good now. I'm not saying that. But I think the black community is better in 2022 than we were in 1990. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I see a lot more black business owners. It's not even something like, and I'm sure there were black business owners in the 90s, but it's more publicly seen. It's a common thing to see now. You know what I mean? Like before, remember, like you seen a nigga selling t-shirts and CDs and shit, and he would, I'm gonna have those shirts next week. That was like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't respect that because at the time I'm thinking, this nigga just trying to get $1. He's pen nickel and diamond. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As an adult now, I look back and I'm like, that was an entrepreneur, and I hope that man now has like a store or a restaurant or you know what I mean. So like, I feel like we are elevating, and I feel like that. Yeah, we're in a great place now. So I do agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you that we need to start making sure that is what is cool in our community. Because think about it, like how many of us had a uncle, aunt, cousin that owned a business that we could work at?
So I had a step pops that he owned a construction business, right?
Okay.
And he always put that like entrepreneur spirit in me. You know, like I remember him telling me that you can climb the corporate ladder, right? But as far as you can climb up the corporate ladder, you never really own that business, you know? That's why he really he respected trades. Like say if you're a plumber, say if you're a welder, say if you're get into school to do any trade, right? You work that job for about 10 years, and now you can buy the same equipment,
and now
you can open up a plumbing business and get a truck and slap the logo on it. So it's like you get people respect people that have more prestige and get into white collar jobs and climb that corporate ladder, and they look at a plumber as as lower scale, that's classism. But when you think about it, that plumber can probably hit that milli
before some corporate dude working
gives you a milli.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. And it's crazy. It's sad that I personally didn't know. I don't want to talk about my family's business. I will say my mom worked in the corporate office pretty much her whole life, and she worked her way up the ladder. She makes great money, but I didn't have any business owners. I came from a line of hustlers, so I seen certain things, and I thought I had to sell certain things, and for a while it started with CDs and shit like that, Bernie Cop bootlegs and movies and shit in high school, to a little bit of on the side, little things that you shouldn't be selling on the side. And I don't know, I never in my mind saw myself as a business owner or having a brand, or I didn't know what that wasn't something that was even possible to me. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, those are just those rich people up the top. Well, maybe I can get some crumbs at the bottom. You know what I mean? That was my mentality growing up. I didn't sad. And I felt like the biggest thing I could ever do is become a famous rapper. That was it.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's funny. I think everybody's an entrepreneur when their back's against the wall.
That is true.
I was talking to my sister. She probably watches the show too. I was talking to my sister, and I go, "Yo, you should open up a business, because she has the field that she's in is is very supply and demandy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was saying, oh, yo, you should open up a business. COVID hit. Her back's against the wall, and she basically has she's into makeup and fashion, right? Okay. So she has a bunch of designer shit, and she sells it back on Poshmark, and she's making an extra a couple $100,000, maybe $1,000 a week. And the same person told me, "Oh, I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't feel like doing that." When your back's against the wall, you're gonna figure out what people need.
Been there. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, I learned, the two of my friends that I learned the most about being entrepreneurs about is you and Pa.
Yeah, Pa's another entrepreneur.
Pa was a hustler, entrepreneur since we was 12, 11 years old. And I didn't understand what he always had. So when there was a goal, my goal was we sell these CDs, get some money, or get a little bit of notoriety with our music. And that's the goal for me. This nigga was we do this, we sell these CDs, then we get bigger equipment, better equipment, make music. Then we build a brand, a name, and then we bring it to the labels. And that he was always 10 steps ahead. Yeah, I didn't understand that. I was just yo, get more girls, get more clothes. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I learned a lot from y'all, especially you more recently in my more 20s. When I came home from the military, we started working. I was just seeing damn, this nigga shooting videos and this, that, and I seen the trips and the people you were working with. I'm oh, this nigga is doing shit that he by himself, and it just clicked for me. That's what it made me start to see. That, honestly, that kind of drove me to you see, I had my own little team with the music shit, and it was going well for a while, but those things that wasn't the calling, point blank. And now here I am, and I appreciate that, because I don't know, maybe if I didn't see that, I'd still be trying to I don't know what I would be doing. You know what I mean?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I can say the same thing about you. I don't I just always worked. I just knew you had to work to get money.
Exactly.
And I never I kind of shortchanged myself when it came to freelancing or entrepreneur. I'm an artist, I'm a creative. So I would always do work, I would do artwork pieces for different people. I've done murals, but I would always shortchange myself, or I would always get in a situation where I didn't get compensated, or it was just I put in all this effort and I didn't really get anything back. And it wasn't until I met him that he was just do this, you can do that. And I was just I was I'm not an entrepreneur. I don't like telling people what to do. And it's my whole mindset has changed. It's like, how can I build a system or build a service that other people need?
Exactly.
So it's like I feel like a lot of, especially like you said, like a lot of Black kids, we don't think like that. Like we think sports and music.
Yep.
We don't think, like, I remember going to art school and them telling me, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that? So I ended up going to school for psychology. You get what I'm saying? And now I'm about to go to school for nursing, but my mindset is different. I want to open a wellness center.
Nice.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to use that working up that ladder for a bigger purpose and, you know, eventually have my own business. But I also have started building curriculums for different facilities. And, you know, like, it's like,
you're laying your bricks down.
right. But it's more thinking exponentially than linearly.
Exactly.
Like, I think when a lot of people think about business, they just think about a store.
Yeah.
Or they think about a corporate building and somebody being the CEO. I think it's like when you can't fathom like all the exponential ways you can do what you do and be of service and create systems that help other people and get money off of it, and you don't need to work.
Yeah.
This is interesting because now I'm starting to realize how entrepreneurship is like the origin of just like the way people started America.
Pretty much.
Like when you think about it, like Sade has a loaf of bread, you have fish, and I'm a fucking locksmith. Back in the days before, like, there was always currency, but we would trade. You know,
right.
I'll take your loaf of bread for my fish. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I think about it now. I have a job where I get a good pension, and everybody's like, "Oh, another 20 years, you can get out of here," and they'll give you $5,000 a month for the rest of your life and full benefits. That's great. And I'm like, honestly, with this job, I'd rather take the benefits, take this money, put it into another business, so I don't have to live off the little bit of money y'all giving me in retirement, and I have to wait 20 years for that. You know what I'm saying?
I also think it's like a generational thing. I think we've kind of like, there's a whole generation where it's like we work till we die, and they're proud of it. Like if you think about boomers and Gen X, that's what they like. I watched my dad just work. I watched my grandfather work till he died. And then I watched my mom like get a degree, and now she's like stuck and she loves what she does, but she's like a slave to this job, and because of the pension, because of the, you know, the benefits, she can't leave, and she's miserable.
What I'm trying to say is,
and they don't know that you can do that.
What I'm trying to say is, though, right? If there was nobody to offer you a job, what would you be doing? Think of you know what I mean?
And that's honestly, bro, like, so basically, so it's, let me just tap on what Sade said. Same exact thing with my mother.
Right.
My mother has been at this job that, like, yo, I'm gonna tell you like this. My mom, like, she brings work home. That's all. Like, sometimes I gotta tell my mom, like, sometimes we don't live together, whatever. Every time I do talk to my
relax.
mom, I talk to her for about 2 minutes before she starts bringing up her job, and I'm like, hey, mom,
yes,
how's your day going? Did you eat today? Like, I have to stop her because she can't stop talk. And then one day, it's funny that you say that, because just yesterday I talked to my mother, and she was like, she already passed the time when she can retire now,
and she won't. She can't.
She doesn't know what to do.
That happens to
everyone.
She doesn't know what to do. So
they don't know what to do with themselves after. My mom's the same way. She's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do after.
Exactly. So I'm talking to my mom, and she goes, I wasted so much time, and it's like, with this job, and I'm like, because usually I try to call I stream now, so it's like my streaming hours is 2 to 8. Old head Steph, if y'all want to follow me on YouTube, anyways, and on Twitch too. So I tell her, you know, after 8 o'clock, I always call my mom. She was like, "Mom, how you?" I'm like, "Well, I'm like, you're home?" He's like, "Oh yeah, you think I'm supposed to be in the office, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, usually, you know, just leaving work at this time. I call her on the rides home." He's like, "Yeah, I just decided not to today. I just went home early." And I'm like, "That's good. I'm glad to see that. I'm really happy to see." Like, but I feel like once you do that, it's like, the whole working for 20 years, I'm going to do this job, wake up every day, and I'm going to dedicate my life to this job. And then at the end of like my life, like the last couple years of my life, I'll be able to live. I don't know how that's okay.
That
I think
doesn't
it's a
sound
balance. I really do. I really think it's a balance because it's scary being that old 70-year-old man that is that security guard in the parking lot, because you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
terrifying.
that shit is scary.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
Or
when
the
you're
old
70-year-old man, or you're 65 and you didn't set these things up for yourself already, who's gonna give you a job? You're gonna be bagging groceries at Stop and Shop and living off of the senior ride on the bus and
That's funny.
senior apartments and shit like that.
That's
So
half of my clients.
this shit, that's what I'm saying.
Half of my clients are living off of
And
disability.
you don't have your parents to help you. A lot of your friends done died. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, well, by the time I get it, like that pension shit is important.
I get the
Social security is important.
Yeah.
But entrepreneurship is the centerpiece for humanity.
Yeah.
It really is.
I feel like that's the only way to. And it's sad because not everybody can do this. So I don't. Forgive me if I sound a little.
No, there's worker bees.
What's the word I'm looking for? Inconsiderate or unrealistic. But for me, I don't know if I have like so. All right, so let me step back a little bit. I was in the military. A lot of people think when you join the military, you come out like squared away, just like structured, and you're like, oh, this person is in the military, so he's gonna just be able to. He'll be able to go to the job every day on time and just that's
discipline.
repetitive.
Yeah, that's how I think military people are.
Yes and no. So what happened to me was, I'm not saying I'm not disciplined. I am disciplined because I still have those values of doing what I said I'm going to do and trying to be on time and do things of that nature. But it also has a reverse effect. When you're forced to do something that you do not want to do for so many years and there's no option of getting out. It's like going to jail. You never want to go back in. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it came out and I was like, I need money, but I need my freedom way more. Like I don't want to do shit that I don't want to do. I've worked I went to so many different fields after the military just to see where can I sit and feel comfortable at. And I was in the office. I've did construction. I've been in the medical field. I've been in the kitchen. I've done so many locksmith. I've done blue collar. I've done white collar. I've done it all. And what I realized, if I don't have a passion for something, I might as well be dead, dogs.
Like,
that's that ADHD shit.
So listen,
Might as well
right?
be dead.
I don't think to be a successful man, you can get around discipline.
You can't.
Discipline is doing something that you need to do when you don't want to do it.
I get that.
The army was forced discipline.
Yeah.
So the army forced you to do things that you didn't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the same thing.
Now it's self-initiated.
If that discipline is self-initiated, like Sade just said, you'll probably feel a little better about it because you have control over the discipline.
Yeah.
You know? So say if it's like waking up 7 o'clock I had to wake up like 6 o'clock in the morning to drive to Virginia to go shoot a video. I did not feel like doing it, but I knew it was the freedom.
Yeah.
If I wanted to, I can call him and be like, hey, I'm coming through at 9. The freedom
to be able to. And I love that.
You're not going to get around that discipline. There's always going to be.
And that's the thing. I don't have no problem with discipline. I know there's no matter what, if I'm playing video games for the rest of my life for money, I still got to get up at the same time. Like, I don't miss. You know what I mean? Like, if I say I'm doing this is what I'm doing. I went and spent the money. I went and got the equipment. I went and taught myself how to use the equipment. I went and looked at the best streamers. I did the research. That's discipline. I took the time. You know what I mean? So the discipline is there.
It is.
It's just what I want to apply it to. Yes. I need to have some type of control. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then also, I don't want to be in, I know it sounds petty and a little shallow and a little bit immature, but I don't want to work with certain people, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I got to a point where I do not like people.
No, I think that's fair, because there's sometimes with music videos now, you don't see me how I was in like my early 20s doing the music.
Now.
I'm mad selective. Like I look at it as like, if I'm getting up and working with you, it's something artistic and it's something outside the box.
Yeah.
It's something that we can push culture with.
Yeah.
I'm not going in the middle of a trap house with a bunch of niggas with their shirt off.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Everybody
say,
smoke weed and shit. If I don't want to work with you, I'm not going to work with you. And I'm going to tell you too, like, I'd rather do something a little more artistic. You can get a kid out of high school to shoot something like this. A DSLR camera is like $300.
Yep. Simple as that.
Just like that.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I don't know what I don't know if it's this generation or our generation that started this, but I don't they say a lot of people don't want to work now. I don't think people are lazy.
No.
I just feel like, first off, you got to deal with inflation. Like, fucking cost of living is quadrupled while the fucking pay has, like, not even doubled.
I would say they don't pay you enough to even like the jobs that you do. Like, how could you want to work? Like, I got into my field, like, very excited about the work that I do. And then I realized the systems are more in control. And then, like you said, you have inflation, but there's a cap on the salary of my position.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't match. And then on top of that, I'm like giving myself to people, and my job is more emotional than physical.
Yeah.
But it's like, I hate it. Now I don't want to help you. I don't get paid enough to even care.
Yeah.
Like, I do bare minimum. So I get, like, I think it's our generation. They always, like, everybody hates millennials.
And I don't know why.
Because we've gotten to a point where we've said enough is enough to the things that we've been forced to think is the norm. Okay. Like, we're kind of like, okay.
So we put the work in.
Yeah, we're just like, okay, something's off with this norm. Yeah, like, this doesn't feel right. The work culture's not right. Yeah. The compensation's not right. Yeah. The system isn't right. Like I said, I worked in a lot of systems, and I'm like, you hired me to find the gaps in the system. You tell me to, work with the team, to head a team and tell them where the gaps are, and we can work together, think tank, to come up with solutions for the gaps. But y'all don't like the gaps because they're millennial. They're millennialized. Like, I got in trouble for talking about yoga.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's just like, when you have a different way of thinking that goes outside of the system that's have already been in place, the only thing you can do is build your own. Yeah. And I think that's kind of like why we're having this conversation, is like, a lot of us are being forced to build our own path because what's been in place. And I kind of think that's what COVID did. Like, it's kind of put a spotlight on the things that don't work, because that's why remote work is, like, now so popular, because we don't need to go to your fucking office 5 days a week and do nothing. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, we can work, we can do more than
I feel
enough
like I'm
work.
Way more productive at my crib.
I'm way more productive at my home.
Way more productive.
It's just crazy, because I think that it's pushing us to kind of think about these things and make these changes, because it's pretty obvious that the things that have been put in place for all these years, they just don't work. They're not working for us.
I was not where I wanted to be for a long time. I'm a big component of it's Uchiwali and one mic, right. It's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the problem is what Sade was saying, is that a lot of millennials have a low threshold for work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
So my hard work could be different from your hard work. So it's like your 8 hours a day can feel like 2 hours a day for me.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's not on the same threshold or level of work.
Yeah. You think the compensation would higher someone's threshold? Because if I got more money, I would work harder.
I think like, if I can't, for some, but not everybody.
Because I still think the 20% rule still exists. I think you only see the fruits of your labor of 20% of the work you put in. That I really believe that. So somebody that can only work at an optimal 60% is not gonna even touch me, because I'm working at 90 or I'm working at 80. Yeah. Some people work at 40. Yeah. Some people like, oh, I'm pooped.
Yeah.
You know, and they haven't done shit.
They haven't done shit.
And those people that really work, they look at them like, I crush you like butterfly. But you know, they look at them like, oh, pathetic. I'm about to lap this nigga right now. Watch. I'm about to lap this nigga.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And it's like, the threshold comes from, like, I see it with you with the army shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll be like fighting sleep and like you just be up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like there's different levels of threshold. Like my tired is different from your tired.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My fucking like we do the same gym shit too.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We be in the gym.
Yeah.
A lot of those gym sessions would be like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And we fucking ready to throw up.
And here's the thing too. This just how you just said that with the threshold. The same way I've seen motherfuckers like I went to the gym with you, and this is before you was even working out, right? Like you wasn't working out like that before, right?
Not before, yeah.
So when I went to taking you to the gym and trying to show you the shit that I do, I've taken cousins. I'm not gonna say no names, but you know who the fuck you are. I've trained a bunch of soldiers. I've trained shorties. I've trained a bunch of people. You, not even Slink. Not even Slink, but you, Kenny. I trained with him a little bit one time, and I think just my pops, bro. Like that's the only people that just did everything I did and didn't complain.
This is the threshold level that I'm talking about, and it's a big component when it comes to work. I remember when I was talking about my step pops, and then we were cleaning the yard, and I'd be like, "Yeah, it's done." And he's like, "It's not done," and he's like, "Nigga, pulling out all the weeds."
Yeah, that's like my pops.
And he's telling me like that's how work look like.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta. I don't know, but like
I think
it's on the parents to teach the kids.
I think that's a lot of
like this is what work looks like.
Yeah.
Pick up the couch, sweep under the couch, my nigga.
Yeah. Every Saturday.
You get what I'm saying? You got.
I understand that, and I also think it's the capacity of work that you do, because I'm great at my job. Like I'm really, really good at my job. However, maybe it's just the field that I work in. The demands and also
that's
what I'm saying.
Emotional and
not only that, it's like, so I'm helping people, and it's weird because these people are 3 times my age, and I'm helping them fix their lives, and they're not equipped to fix their lives. Do you get them? It's like putting out a fire to a house that's already burned down. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I'm helping them navigate. I have the capacity to do all this, and I'm figuring it out for myself. But as I'm figuring out myself, I have a caseload of 42 people that all have the same issues. Do you get what I'm saying? So I get like we, in my field, we suffer a lot from burnout because we're constantly just putting out, calling, going. Yeah. And it's just like, my threshold's high. I can get it in the gym. You get what I'm saying? I've done construction. I can do the work, but when the work confronts reality and the economy and the systems,
and it don't match.
All your fumes are exhausted. I'm fucking tired.
And what are you doing?
I just told my supervisor the other day, I was like, yo, I feel like I'm not good. Like, I feel like something's wrong with me because I can't fix these problems. I don't know how to help these people, but I've maxed out on my threshold, and I'm only doing like 50%. I could do, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not putting all my energy in it, but I get my job done. So very well.
I think threshold is also compartmentalized. I'll give you a good example, because you have people that can do a lot of physical labor, right? Then you got a lot of people that can endure a lot of mental stress. Right? With something like physical labor, say if you're going home and you have to take care of your kids, they have their problems, then you're living with somebody else who's giving you problems and this and that, and you go to work and you can let it out with physical labor. But say if you're home and people at home are stressing you out, then you go to work, then people at work are also stressing you out.
I'm burnt out. I'm done.
You're burnt out.
I can do physical labor all day.
You're burnt out because it's in that same threshold level. So it's like
never get a break.
When I always say, right, people that are real tough or like when people say, "Oh, I'm gangster," right?
Yeah.
I think people that can't really handle their emotions don't have the endurance.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If somebody call you pussy, you're gonna get up and punch them in the face. That means
that's
you
not
don't,
only endurance,
you
but
don't
emotional
really
intelligence.
emotional intelligence, but your threshold is low.
Right, right.
That's your emotional threshold is low.
Yeah.
That means, and to have endurance means that you're tough. Like if I'm running using my Nike shoes and I've used them for 3 years running and they still lasting, they're tough, right?
Yeah.
Right.
If somebody call you pussy one time, you ready to beat them up.
Your threshold's low.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's really that endurance, that stamina.
But also, there's only so much any human being can endure. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
that is true.
I'm saying you can have that emotional endurance, you can have the physical endurance, but if like you said, if there's no fucking break, life is hitting you, work is hitting you, home is hitting you, you're not even financially compensated for all this shit. You just
and then on top of that, not only that, not everybody knows what you're going through.
Exactly.
So that more you're dealing with it on your own.
Exactly.
And then it's like,
oh, suck it up.
You're gonna snap.
Yes.
Like so.
But that's why you also have to take care of yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like, and
but when do you have the time? Like, in the hypothetical situation that SJ just put out, when do you have the time? If you're going from a stressful environment to another stressful environment, sleeping in that stressful environment, just to wake up and go back to the other stressful.
That's my life right now. You make time.
Sheesh.
I don't get no breaks. I have 42 56 to 70-year-old clients that are all in fucking need and can't read, can't write. I got stacks of applications to fill out.
Don't talk about your job too much.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
we're putting this out. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mind. My job's public. But what I'm saying is I have a high demand for me emotionally, physically at work. Then I go home. I have 2 kids that I have to deal with their stuff. I make time for that. That's why, like, even if I'm like very close to burnout, I know exactly what to do to take care of myself so that I never get burnt out. When I know something's over and I know, like, okay, I think it's also like awareness and recognizing when your time is done somewhere and when it's time to exhaust your energy elsewhere. And I think it's just like a lot of people, we see a lot of like our parents kind of just enduring and then burning out and still going when they can find something different, when they can find something better. And I don't mean like just giving up and saying, fuck this shit, I'm not doing it. It's like, how do I create other options for myself? And that's why it goes back to like what we were talking about, the entrepreneurship. If this isn't enough, how do I create a situation that's enough? How do I create the options for myself, more options than the one that I'm currently living in? I feel like it's more about your capacity to think exponentially than linearly. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, I work, I take care of my kids. What else can I do? And how can I create time within all of those things that I'm doing to do something for myself that's going to alleviate this stress?
Okay.
So I think it's like, initially up to you.
Yeah, I agree. Another way, I just want to say one thing though, a little small thing.
Go ahead.
Another thing I hate also is busy work. I notice a lot of jobs.
Yes.
A lot of jobs. Like you said with the threshold thing. I feel like I have a very high threshold when it comes to work. I don't mind doing anything. Well, now my body doesn't allow me to due to my disability. I got fucked up. Anyways, I still push myself. But one thing I noticed, every single job I've ever had, always create busy work. That's one thing I cannot stand. Oh, you did everything that you're supposed to do? Oh, let me look for something for you to do. That shit pisses me the fuck off, bro.
That's because you're on the clock.
I get it, my nigga, but it's just like,
yo, if I hired somebody, right? And they done everything that they had to do, but they just standing around and they on the phone and I'm paying them.
Oh, I'm not doing that though.
But I'm saying, like, I'm gonna get my.
I get you. I get you from that aspect. I understand the reasoning for it, but it's still something that's just like, I don't know, bro. That's another reason what made me want to I want to be. I don't feel like trading time for dollars is it works anymore. Because we're not, like, think about it. The jobs have changed. If you work at a fast food restaurant, it's a little different because you have to keep serving, right? But we're getting jobs, like, what job really takes all fucking day to do?
It's service.
Okay, so we're not talking about service. Say we're talking about corporate. What job really takes all day to fucking do? Nothing.
No.
I never had a job where I could not do my work. And then, like, all right, say for once I was a receptionist and had to answer phones. I did all my paperwork. I did all my fucking spreadsheets, everything done. Now I'm just answering phones for the day. That's all I'm doing. But then you're gonna add, oh, you're done with everything? Well, let me find something else for you to do. Hold on. Like, I don't want that. So in the end, I understand the reason for it, but that's more of an incentive for me to just like, you know what? I want to be I'm going to do my business. If you're a business owner also, you're going to always find some other shit for yourself to do because you see the benefit of it or whatever. But when you're done for the day and you've reached it, like, all right, today I'm done. I've done everything that I set for today. The rest of the day is me to do whatever else I need. If you feel like doing other work afterwards, cool. That's something that I always had like a personal gripe against.
I get what you're saying, but like look at it with us, right? There's gonna be a point where we have a sound guy, we have editors. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? We have just a bunch of people doing different shit for a particular reason, right? And everybody's being paid, you know. And instead of cutting the sound guy's job done because the sound's already handled,
but he's on standby.
You can cut his job you can cut his job and have him do the sound and the lights. That's what would happen.
I get that.
You get what I'm saying?
But also, I would say
your job will be cut off if you can't be utilized for other things as well.
I get that. But here's what I'm saying. So say if we have that same situation and we have a dude, the camera guy, the cameraman, they control the camera. They got to get the shots. We have a scene that is going to be an hour and a half long and the shot is set. I'm not going to expect this nigga to go sweep something up or do some other shit because he's not. Right now, we don't need you to do anything. Yo, just chill out, bro. Take the opportunity. Like, I'm not going to say, well, you're getting paid for this hour and a half. I think that's penny pinching, dogs. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's like that person would hate working for me.
I think employers look at it when they employ like unskilled labor, like somebody that's operating a camera. Or somebody that's doing the sound that knows levels and frequencies and things like that. He's skilled. You know, somebody that's answering the phone and then between answering the phone, they on their fucking phone.
Yeah,
my nigga, you can my man just shitted on me. Not you. I know what you say. I'm fucking with you. No, I get what you're saying though. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And I respect that. But I think there's just a fine line for it. That's just like we said, like I get what you're saying because if I'm the cameraman, I'm not gonna be sweeping up.
Exactly, you know what I mean. So it's basically what you're doing is by you're not rewarding, but you're kind of punishing quick productivity. Yeah, it's like you're making me say,
well,
hey,
that's
man.
why you learn how to work slow. You learn how
exactly
at my job, I learned to what I do is I compartmentalize my day, and it's like, okay, this hour I'm gonna do this hour I'm gonna do this. So by the end of the day, all my work is done, but I didn't stretch it out. So
yeah, I don't work like that. Like I know that's
it's something I learned.
Yeah, I started to try to do that because I used to manage a dealership, and I noticed like once like the owner, I worked right under the owner. And when I did what I had to do and I finished it, I would just chill in the office. You know, I'll go over things and then, supervise. And then sometimes the owner come and be like, oh, you finished? Oh, yeah, you did all that. Oh, okay, so this. And I'm like, all right, bro. These are things that are not necessary for today, bro. You're not going to give me this all today to do right now. Like, just because you see I have an hour of free time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that type of shit would just make me want to be like, all right, cool. This is something that's going to take me about 40 minutes to do. This is going to take me something about an hour to do. I'm going to stretch this shit out, make now whatever took me an hour, it's going to take me 3. Whatever takes me 4 hours, about to take me an hour and a half now.
Yep.
Right.
That's what you're going to end up doing.
Yo, bottom line, y'all, entrepreneurship.
That's the way to go, bro.
Well, you shouldn't want to exchange your time for labor unless it's your own labor. You get what I'm saying? With that said, that's another episode of IC. Sean Johnson, Ohead, Steph, Sade, Renee.
Later.
You did.
Holla at your people.